Have you ever wondered if you're truly aligned with the right people in your life? Or if you ever felt that relationships should just flow, yet somehow you're caught in a constant struggle trying to make them work? If you've been questioning your relationships, your worth, or even why things just don't seem to fall into place, this video is for you. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the truth about love, relationships, and why so many people feel stuck in toxic cycles. You'll learn how to recognize if you're chasing love out of need instead of alignment, and how you can stop settling for less than you deserve. This video is not just about finding the right person, it's about aligning with the right energy, one that resonates with your true self. We'll explore Carl Jung's profound teachings on love, dependency, and self-worth. You'll gain insight into how to choose yourself first, let go of what's not meant for you, and stop holding on to people or relationships that don't support your growth. By the end of this video, you'll have clarity on how to invite genuine, peaceful love into your life and start attracting the people who are truly aligned with who you are. Stay tuned, your journey to authentic love begins here. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. How do we differentiate between a real connection and a fleeting illusion, one that feels momentarily magical but ultimately fades into the background of our lives? This is a question many of us wrestle with, and it's crucial to dive deep into understanding the unconscious to truly find an answer. Carl Jung, the brilliant mind behind so much of modern psychology, believed that our relationships serve as powerful mirrors, reflecting the deepest corners of our inner world. So when you find yourself constantly surrounded by people who challenge you in destructive ways, draining your energy, making you feel like you're not enough, it's not just bad luck. It's a wake-up call, a signal from your unconscious, urging you to look within and ask, why am I allowing this? Why am I attracting these dynamics into my life? You see, the process of growth, of healing, begins with self-awareness. If someone is truly meant to be in your life, you will know. It won't be a constant battle to figure out who you need to be for them, to mold yourself into someone else's idea of who you should be. Real relationships don't force you to betray who you are. They don't make you hide parts of yourself to fit into a box that doesn't suit you. Instead, they nurture your true essence, allowing you to be seen, heard, and loved, not because the other person has idealized you, but because their presence reflects a connection that you've cultivated with yourself. And that's one of the most profound gifts we can receive in life, the ability to fully show up as ourselves and be accepted. Jung spoke about the concept of individuation, the process of becoming the person you are meant to be, stripping away the masks, the facades, and the social roles we've been conditioned to play. When you embark on the journey of individuation, you start to attract relationships that align with your truth. It's not about some magical force bringing these people into your life. It's about having the clarity to recognize them when they show up. It's about developing the strength to let go of relationships that no longer serve you, that no longer resonate with who you are becoming. And trust me, that's a powerful shift. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you held on to relationships that deep down you knew were toxic, draining, or just plain wrong for you? Relationships where conflict seemed to follow you around like a shadow, where you had to fight for every ounce of affection, and where just being yourself felt like a crime. I know, I've been there. And it wasn't about labeling anyone as bad or wrong. It was simply a sign that something was off. There was a misalignment, a disconnect between who I was and what those relationships demanded of me. It's a painful truth to face, but once you do, everything changes. And here's the thing. I want to pause and remind you that if you're resonating with any of this, you don't have to navigate it alone. I've poured my heart into a book designed to help you move past emotional blockages to heal and embrace your true self. It's filled with practical techniques and insights to help you nurture self-love. You can find the link to it in the description and the pinned comment below. But for now, let's continue. Jung was adamant about the importance of the unconscious mind and its quest for balance. When you spend your life chasing after relationships that drain you, your body and mind will eventually rebel. At first, you may feel anxious, exhausted, or unmotivated. Maybe you'll experience physical symptoms, insomnia, unexplained aches, or constant fatigue. These are not just random occurrences. They are your body's desperate plea for change. It's your soul's way of screaming, "Something isn't right. Pay attention." And that's when you'll know when someone is truly right for you. Not because everything will be perfect, or because you'll never face difficult moments or disagreements, but because there won't be that constant battle with who you are versus who you feel you need to be. Instead, you'll experience a deep sense of ease, of belonging and connection, one that doesn't demand that you sacrifice your essence. There will be a flow, a natural alignment that feels like coming home. This, I believe, is where true emotional well-being lives. It's about harmony, about finding that inner peace within yourself that mirrors the peace you experience in your relationships. But Jung took it even further. He said that the most profound connections between people happen when our souls recognize each other. Now, I know this may sound a bit mystical to some, but when you think about it, doesn't it make perfect sense? Our souls are constantly evolving, carrying with them the weight of past experiences, wounds, and lessons that we might not even be consciously aware of. So when someone enters our life who challenges us, who awakens something deeper within us, whether it's growth, healing, or even pushing us to expand in ways we never thought possible, that's when we know something meaningful is happening. It's not about their perfection, it's about how their presence inspires us to become more of who we truly are. But here's the bittersweet truth. Not every person who crosses our path is meant to stay forever. Some people are only meant to accompany us for a season, teaching us vital lessons along the way before continuing on their journey. And while they're with us, their impact is profound. It might not always be easy or comfortable, but it will always be meaningful. On the other hand, if you consistently find yourself in relationships where you're forced to prove your worth, where fear of abandonment or rejection colors every interaction, it's time to ask yourself the hard question, what part of me needs healing? Are you choosing these relationships out of self-love and genuine connection, or are they rooted in the fear of being alone? Jung believed that loneliness is not something to fear. It's a sacred space, a space where we can truly meet ourselves, where we can sit with our thoughts and feelings without the need for constant distraction. When you learn to be at peace with who you are, when you no longer desperately search for someone else to fill the voids inside you, that's when the most authentic relationships will start to show up. It's in those moments of solitude, of self-reflection, that we truly begin to attract the people who are aligned with our truth. The secret isn't in finding the right person. The secret is in becoming the most authentic version of yourself. Because when you step into your full power, when you stop dimming your light to make others comfortable, the right connections will naturally fall into place. You won't need to force anything or convince anyone that you're worthy of love. You simply will be, and that in itself is enough. Think back. Has there ever been a time when someone entered your life at just the right moment? When their presence brought clarity, peace, or the kind of challenge that nudged you toward your personal growth? Don't ignore those moments. Life is full of synchronicities, of divine signs that are trying to guide you toward something better. But the key lies in introspection, knowing yourself, understanding your patterns, and recognizing what you truly seek in a relationship. Perhaps most importantly, dare to let go of what no longer resonates with you. Carl Jung taught us that the reality we experience in the external world is merely a reflection of our internal world. If you want to attract the right person into your life, you must first become the right person for yourself. And when you do, when you cultivate that deep connection with yourself, the universe will conspire to bring you the relationships you've always desired, ones that are nourishing, empowering, and, most of all, authentic. So take a moment, reflect deeply. What part of your psyche is attracting the experiences you're currently living? This is not magic, nor blind fate. It is a reflection of the world within you. If deep down you feel that you are not enough, if you carry that subtle belief within your core, you may unconsciously gravitate toward people who reinforce that perception. This doesn't mean that these individuals are inherently bad, not at all. They may be wonderful people, but the energy you emit, the energy of self-doubt and insecurity, can attract similar energies from others. Your unconscious mind seeks to confirm what it already believes to be true. It seeks what is familiar, what aligns with your current state of being. Breaking this cycle begins with awareness. When you recognize the patterns in your relationships, when you start to see that they are not random but rather reflections of your inner beliefs and emotions, you gain an incredible power. You take control. You stop seeking love to fill a space inside you, and instead, you begin to share the love that already exists within you. This is transformative, truly transformative. Because when you operate from a place of wholeness, when you come from a space of self-love and self-acceptance, the people who enter your life will reflect that same energy right back to you. It's not about searching anymore. It's about allowing. It's about receiving and giving love that comes from a place of inner peace, not desperation. So ask yourself, with complete honesty, am I choosing love from a place of wholeness or face of fear? This question, as simple as it may sound, holds the key to unlocking the quality of every relationship you experience from this moment forward. Fear will lead you to relationships that feel draining, unfulfilling, and even destructive, while love, true love, grounded in self-acceptance, will lead you to connections that elevate you, that support your growth and well-being. Jung described this concept through the idea of projection. When we aren't fully aware of certain aspects of ourselves, our fears, our insecurities, our unresolved issues, we unconsciously project them onto others. We see in others what is a part of us, a part that we may not have accepted or integrated yet. I know how painful this can be, having found myself in relationships where I felt unappreciated, where the other person seemed to take me for granted or demanded too much from me. It's a soul-crushing experience. It feels as though you are constantly giving, and yet you are never truly seen or understood. But when I stepped back, when I took a deep breath and examined the situation with honesty and compassion, I realized something profound. Am I projecting my feelings of unworthiness onto this person? Perhaps, deep down, I wasn't valuing myself enough, and this was being mirrored in my interactions with others. It's not easy to face these uncomfortable truths, but it's the only way to heal. Jung believed that the unconscious acts in mysterious ways, but it always has a purpose. It's not trying to punish us. It's trying to make us aware of the aspects of ourselves that we need to integrate, to bring into the light. Once we do, we no longer need to keep playing out these painful patterns. We stop attracting relationships that mirror our deepest wounds and begin to attract those that support our healing. If you've ever experienced relationships where you felt abandoned or as though you had to constantly fight for attention or love, there may be a part of you that fears rejection. Maybe at some point you learned that affection must be earned, that love is conditional. And this belief, no matter how deeply buried, can color the way you interact with others. But when someone truly loves you, when they are meant for you, you won't feel the constant need to prove yourself. There won't be a silent competition for recognition or affection. Instead, you will experience a harmonious connection, one that flows effortlessly, where both of you see, accept, and support each other's growth. That's the beauty of a relationship built on mutual respect and unconditional love. But here's the truth that can be difficult to swallow. To reach this point, you must first turn inward and observe your patterns. What kind of relationships have you attracted over the years? Do you notice any recurring themes? Any emotional cycles that seem to repeat themselves over and over again? If so, this is not a sign that you are destined to continue the same painful path. On the contrary, it's your unconscious mind trying to bring something to your awareness, urging you to break free from the cycle and choose differently. And until you do, until you consciously make the unconscious conscious, you will continue to feel as if you are trapped in situations that seem inevitable, relationships that feel like fate, in reality, are just the result of unexamined patterns. Imagine for a moment that you are standing in front of two doors. One door leads to the path you have always walked, familiar, predictable, yet painful and draining. The other door is unknown. It's uncertain. It fills you with fear, but also with infinite possibilities. And it's tempting, isn't it, to walk through the first door because, while it may bring pain, it's predictable. It's what you know. The fear of change, of the unknown, can be paralyzing. But here's the truth. If you truly want to create meaningful connections that bring peace into your life, you have to have the courage to walk through that second door. You have to dare to choose the unknown, to take a leap of faith. You can't keep waiting for things to change while remaining the same. You can't keep wishing for a loving, harmonious relationship if there are still parts of you that resist love, that don't feel worthy of it. Jung would tell you that before you can attract the right person, you must first become the right person for yourself. And that requires doing the inner work, the courage to face the shadows, to confront the beliefs and fears that have kept you stuck in the same destructive patterns. It's hard. It's uncomfortable, but it is so worth it. Take a moment, pause, and reflect on the relationships that have marked your life. Think about the patterns that have emerged over time, the emotions that have come up, and the recurring themes. What is the message behind all of this? What part of you is still crying out to be healed, to be acknowledged, to be loved? It is time to listen to that part of yourself, to take a step toward healing and to choose a new path, one that leads you to the love, peace, and connection you truly deserve. Here's the key. No one can heal you. No one can fill you. No one can give you what you have not first given to yourself. That truth, while simple, is profound and powerful. It's the cornerstone of everything. When the right person comes into your life, you'll know it not because their presence will bring chaos or unnecessary suffering, but because their presence will feel like a gentle invitation to grow. It will feel like an opportunity for expansion, not destruction. And that, my dear, is what true love feels like. They will respect your essence, your true, authentic self, and they will motivate you to expand, not shrink. A healthy relationship should never make you feel like you have to lose pieces of yourself to fit in, but to recognize the right person, the one who will truly honor and nurture you. You must first ensure that you are not choosing from a place of fear, lack, or desperate need for external validation. This is the hard truth. Jung taught us that the journey toward true love does not begin with someone else, it begins with you. The quality of the relationships you attract is a direct reflection of the relationship you have with yourself. If you do not know who you are, if you do not love and accept yourself as you are, how can you expect anyone else to? When you are truly at peace with yourself, when you stand in the truth of who you are, the right connections will appear in your life without effort. They will flow naturally. There will be no need to force them, to bend over backward to make them work. So, the real question you should ask yourself is not, how do I know if someone is the right one? It's much deeper than that. Start by asking yourself, am I the right one for myself? Because it is only from a place of inner clarity, authenticity, and deep self-love that you can recognize in others what is truly aligned with your soul. If you are not whole within, how can you expect someone else to complete you? Too many people misunderstand what relationships are really about. They think relationships are meant to fill the emotional voids within them. But in reality, relationships are mirrors. They reflect what we are carrying within ourselves. Carl Jung once said that everything we experience externally originates from our internal world. Our relationships, our connections, are a reflection of what's happening inside us. They act as mirrors, showing us our strengths, our wounds, our patterns. So, if you ever find yourself wondering whether someone is the right person for you, don't ask, "What do they offer me?" Ask instead, "What am I truly looking for?" That's the real key. Maybe you've had the experience of meeting someone at just the right moment, someone who seemed to have all the answers. Their presence brings you peace, clarity, and a sense of calm that you hadn't felt before. But over time, as the relationship deepened, you started noticing subtle changes, small red flags that didn't quite match the image you had formed of them in your mind. A little discomfort crept in, something that felt just off, but you ignored it, didn't you? You didn't want to lose the connection, so you brushed it aside, hoping it would go away. But what if that discomfort was your intuition speaking to you? Jung emphasized the power of intuition, that inner knowing that comes from the unconscious. Your rational mind will tell you all sorts of things, justifications for why you should stay, reasons to convince yourself that everything is fine. But your intuition, that still, quiet voice deep inside you, doesn't need logic. It just knows. It never lies. If you feel discomfort in your relationship, if subtle signs are telling you that something doesn't fit, pay attention to those feelings. Do not ignore them just because you wish the reality was different. If someone is truly right for you, their presence will not create a constant internal struggle. You won't feel like you have to change who you are to be accepted. You won't feel like you're walking on eggshells, constantly fearing conflict or rejection. One of the greatest signs that someone is aligned with you is the peace you feel when you are with them. I know it's easy to get confused. Many people mistakenly believe that the ultimate proof of love is an intense relationship, one filled with highs and lows, fiery emotions, and dramatic moments. But intensity is not the same as a genuine connection. A real connection is calm, steady, and peaceful. It's built on mutual respect and freedom within the relationship. It's not about needing the other person to validate your worth, to fill a void in your life. It's about two whole people coming together to share their wholeness. Look back on your life, and you'll likely remember times when you ignored your intuition. You were so desperate to be loved, to belong, that you ignored the signs. There were people from the very start who showed you in small ways that they weren't what you truly needed. But you held on, didn't you? Why? Because the fear of being alone, the longing to be loved, and the deep, subconscious desire to belong can cloud your judgment. You want to believe that things will work out, that if you love hard enough, if you try enough, things will change. But what if they never do? Jung believed that this was the unconscious repeating old patterns, trying to heal wounds that have never been fully addressed. These patterns are not our fault, but they are our responsibility. They are here to show us what we need to heal within ourselves. Have you ever wondered why certain people seem to enter your life at exactly the right moment? Perhaps you were going through a significant change, a time of transition, and suddenly, someone showed up. It may have felt like fate, like the universe had brought them to you at just the right time. But Jung called this synchronicity, the idea that the universe aligns to bring us exactly what we need at every stage of our lives. But synchronicity doesn't always bring us what we want. It brings us what we need to evolve, to grow. Sometimes, the people who enter our lives are not the ones we fall in love with romantically. Sometimes, they are simply mirrors, people who reflect to us the things we still need to heal. They show us the unresolved wounds, the fears, the beliefs that have been holding us back. And that, in itself, is a form of love, the kind of love that helps us grow, the kind of love that encourages us to heal and become the best version of ourselves. Here's the truth. Before asking if someone is right for you, you must first ask yourself, what is this person reflecting to me? Relationships are mirrors, reflecting not just what we desire, but also what we need to learn, heal, and evolve. If their presence in your life pushes you to grow, to face your fears, to become more authentic without feeling like you have to betray yourself, then that connection is serving a positive purpose. It's a journey toward deeper understanding and personal transformation. However, if you find yourself constantly in doubt, emotionally anxious, or feeling like you're walking through a storm with no clear direction, then that is a clear sign that this person may not be aligned with your true essence. Jung teaches us that life presents us with experiences designed for our evolution, but it is up to us to recognize the signs and make decisions from a place of awareness, not fear. If you are always questioning your worth, constantly putting in effort without seeing reciprocity, and feeling drained instead of energized, it's time to pause and reflect. Am I choosing this connection out of love or out of a need to fill a void? True love does not demand constant trials or sacrifices that make you lose yourself in the process. When someone is truly aligned with you, they will never make you question your worth or put you in a position where you must choose between being true to yourself and being loved. Authentic love is not a battle, nor is it an impossible puzzle that requires calculated strategies to keep the connection alive. It doesn't feel like a game that needs to be won. Authentic love simply is. It is free, clear, and sincere. It is peace that flows without effort. If you've ever experienced a relationship where you felt you could be completely yourself, without fear, without the need to perform or shrink to meet someone's expectations, then you have experienced what Jung would describe as a connection aligned with your deepest self. This is the kind of love that brings out the best in you, not the kind that makes you question who you are or forces you to dim your light. Authentic love is not about dependency. It's not about needing someone to fill an internal void or to define your worth. It's about sharing the journey with someone who resonates with the energy of who you truly are. But here's the catch. Before you can attract the right person into your life, you must first ask yourself an important question. Am I willing to let go of what is not meant for me? This is where many people get stuck. They say they want the right person, yet they hold on tightly to those who are cult-aligned with their soul. They justify, they cling, and they convince themselves that time will change things. Maybe the other person just needs to understand them better, or they believe the relationship will improve if they give it more time and effort. But in the process, they waste years of their lives holding on to something that does not allow them to grow. Jung reminds us that nothing can grow in barren soil. If you keep pouring your energy into relationships that only bring you pain and frustration, you are simply perpetuating the cycle. You are keeping yourself stuck in a loop of unfulfilled potential, never allowing the space for real love to grow. The moment you choose yourself, when you decide to let go of what no longer serves you, when you are willing to risk being alone rather than settling for less than you deserve, something incredible happens. The right people start to show up in your life, not by magic, not by coincidence, but because you are now vibrating at a higher frequency. You are in alignment with your truth, and that energy attracts those who are meant to walk beside you. If you are questioning whether someone in your life is the right person, take a moment to listen to yourself. Don't focus on the fear of losing them, or the anxiety of being alone, or the fantasies of what could have been. Simply feel. Does this person bring you peace? Do they inspire you to grow? Do you feel free to be yourself in their presence? Or do you feel like you're constantly fighting for the relationship to work, putting in all the effort, feeling exhausted, and questioning everything? Love is not a battlefield. A relationship should never feel like a war where every day is a struggle to prove your worth, to be seen, to be loved. When someone is truly meant for you, you will know. Not because your mind will analyze it and approve of it, but because your soul will recognize it. It will be a knowing so deep, so peaceful, that you don't need any external validation. And if you feel that the right person has not yet arrived, do not despair. Don't go searching outside of yourself for something you have yet to find within. Because the moment you truly choose yourself, when you stop relying on others to validate your worth, when you stop looking for someone to fill the voids inside you, that's when true love will begin to appear. Jung taught us that the answers to our deepest questions are found not in the external world, but within ourselves. When you decide to embark on that journey inward, when you begin to face your fears and heal your wounds, everything in your life will begin to align. You will no longer attract relationships that drain you, that make you feel small or unworthy. Instead, you will attract those who reflect your true essence, those who celebrate you for exactly who you are. And when the right person arrives, you will know. It will not be a moment of uncontrollable euphoria or overwhelming obsession. It will be calm. It will be a silent certainty that settles in your heart without the need for explanations or justifications. You won't feel insecure. You won't feel like you have to perform emotional acrobatics to keep the connection alive. It will simply flow. And most importantly, you will feel more like yourself than ever before. You will feel free, whole, and at peace, knowing that the connection you've found is not just love, it is the deepest alignment with who you are meant to be. Carl Jung taught us that true love is not about dependency or possession. It is about connection, mutual growth, and respect for each other's individuality. In a truly fulfilling relationship, the right person will never ask you to sacrifice your dreams or change your essence just to fit into their world. Instead, they will uplift you, healthily challenge you, and walk beside you without the constant fear of abandonment lurking over every conversation. This is the kind of love that grows and evolves because it is rooted in respect, trust, and genuine understanding. In a truly meaningful relationship, there are no power games, no constant battles for attention or validation. These struggles are signs of insecurity, not love. Instead, there is presence, real, unwavering presence. There is trust, a deep sense of belonging, and an unspoken understanding that you are valued just as you are. When two people are truly aligned, they don't need to prove their worth or fight for attention. They simply know that their value is inherent and accepted, and they can be their true selves without fear of judgment or rejection. But here's something crucial to remember. The right person can only appear in your life when you have done the inner work to recognize them. If you remain trapped in toxic cycles, if you fear being alone, or if you seek love from a place of emotional emptiness, chances are you will continue to attract relationships that reinforce those fears. Because life does not give you what you want, it gives you what you are capable of holding emotionally. If your emotional landscape is filled with insecurity and fear, you will likely attract relationships that mirror those feelings, keeping you stuck in patterns of doubt, anxiety, and pain. The most profound truth about love is this: the healthier your relationship with yourself, the clearer it becomes who is right for you. When you stop looking for someone to complete you, when you stop relying on another person to fill the voids within you, and instead focus on becoming whole within yourself, you begin to attract relationships that are based on true connection rather than need. Love that is based on need always creates dependency. But love that is based on self-awareness and wholeness is empowering for both people involved. So, the next time you wonder if someone is the right one for you, pause for a moment, take a step back, and first ask yourself, am I being the right one for myself? This is the key question, because when you are truly aligned with your Oruth, the right person will not need to be searched for. They will simply show up when the time is right, and you will recognize them as clearly as they will recognize you. There will be no need to convince, no need to force anyone. It will feel natural and right. If right now you feel like you haven't yet found that person, don't see it as a problem. See it as an opportunity. An opportunity to strengthen the most important relationship you will ever have, the one with yourself. This is your chance to become the most authentic version of who you are. It is a time to release the parts of yourself that no longer resonate with your truth and to shed the fears that have held you back from living fully. It's an opportunity to open yourself up to the love, peace, and connection that you truly deserve. And when that person finally does arrive, you will know. There will be no constant anxiety, no lingering doubts. You won't feel the need to force anything. The connection will feel effortless, natural, like coming home after a long journey. Amid all the chaos in the world, you will have found a space where you can simply be, and that, my friend, is love in its purest, most authentic form. If this message resonates with you, if at any point these words have described your own story, I invite you to share your experience in the comments. Have you found that person, or are you still on the journey of discovering yourself? Your words might be the light someone else needs to read today, and you never know how your experience might help someone else find their path to love. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message, send them this video. Help me reach more people who need to understand that true love is not suffering. Healthy relationships do not require impossible sacrifices, and the most important connection we can nurture is the one we have with ourselves. Share the message that love is not about filling a void, but about finding wholeness within, so that we can truly connect with others from a place of completeness. So, what have you learned from this video so far? Reflect on the key insights we've discussed today about how your relationship with yourself shapes the relationships you attract and the importance of self-love in finding authentic connections. What is one thing you're ready to start practicing in your own life to create the love and relationships you truly deserve? I'd love to hear from you. Please share your thoughts and what you've learned in the comments below. It's always inspiring to read how you're applying these ideas to your journey. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please leave a comment below, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Together, let's create a community of empowered individuals who know their worth and attract the love they deserve. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.